Welcome to my beautiful copperfield patch. We are doing a lot of copper oxidation because we have some more big plans for this week's episode here on the MetaCraft server. Last week, we built up that beautiful pumpkin and melon farm hot air balloon. So in this week's episode, I think it is high time that we start the prep work for building ourselves a nether tree farm. I have wanted a nether tree farm for quite some time because we do use a fair amount of warped wood around our base. And honestly, I am tired of going into the nether and getting lost and shot at and all the rest of that kind of stuff. And so I thought it would be a really great idea to start the prep work for building up a nether tree farm and creating a shop out of it. I also think that this week we are going to tackle building up a candle shop. There is not one on the server yet, and I've not heard of anybody else wanting to make one. And we have a beautiful bee farm that we built right in the beginning of our time here on the server. And so I thought it would be a great idea to utilize the string that Mini Wheats keeps collecting at his gunpowder farm and all the wax that I keep collecting here and building up a beautiful candle shop down in the shopping district. So that is the plan for today's episode, and we are going to see where it takes us. So we are currently flying over to the flower forest that is on the other side of Mini Wheat's base. So I had originally made a flower farm over here in the flower forest when we were first starting talking about dyes, but this flower farm right here actually produces red and orange flowers, which we don't need. We don't need those dyes because we have those dyes with the two tall flowers and the white dye that we have. So I'm going to actually move this farm. I've already built it twice, so might as well build it a third time. I'm just going to take all these materials that we currently have right here and just move it to a different location. And there we go. We got ourselves a very noisy but working flower farm. We got ourselves blue flowers and some oxide daisies, which I think will be absolutely perfect, and we now have a steady source of blue dye. So this will be able to be used both in our rocket shop, but we'll also be able to use it for our candles. So now that our flower farm is done, I think it's time to head back to our base and get working on our next project. So I think we are kind of ready to start working on building up the base for our nether tree farm. And in order to do that, we are actually going to be going underwater because I want to build a nether tree farm that is on top of an oil rig. So apparently it has decided to start raining, but yes, I was figuring just there behind my head, we could start doing the oil rig platform. And I figured that's kind of far enough away from the main base that we're not going to be overloaded with sounds of TNT going off. I think to actually start this project that we are going to make ourselves a conduit because the ocean monument is just this direction. And so I was kind of thinking of putting in a couple of conduits because I wanted to do a little bit of work underwater with pathways and the like connecting a couple of our bases together. That is a much later project. Do not know when that's going to happen. But for now, I think let's build ourselves a conduit so that we can actually go and breathe underwater while we make this platform. Because I want to make sure that the legs of this platform are fully on the bottom of the ocean. So we have ourselves our conduit. We have ourselves some prismarine bricks. I did not bring any water breathing potions. This could have been a bad idea. We're gonna go down there into the water and try and make a conduit. Let me go and build that conduit and I will touch base with you guys then. So while this drown slowly but surely gets closer to us, we have ourselves a conduit and a little bit of a plan of where we're gonna build this thing up. So I am going to try and not get killed. Okay, he died. Perfect. So I am going to try and do an underwater time lapse. If it doesn't work, I'll show you what it looks like in the end. And if it does, enjoy the time lapse. So we have made a lot of progress. The replay did not come out because of the underwater situation. So this is now the progress that we have on our oil rig. Now, obviously, it does not look like much. It looks like very little. It's literally just the platform in the ocean. We have plans for this area to build up our nether tree farm, but this space is more than large enough for it and still gives me room to build up an oil rig around it. Down here at the bottom, as you can tell, we have a little bit different levels of oxidation on these pillars, which I think looks really cool and turned out really well for this area. Just kind of like lots of salt water down here, and so it's fully oxidized and it slowly but surely goes up until it's not oxidized at all. That was a suggestion that Mr. Frogger made to me, and I really like how it turned out. It is time to maybe shift gears a little bit right now and go and start working on the candle shop. So we obviously have all the dyes now except for black, so that is one that we will have to make a farm for at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen in today's episode. But I think we probably have enough wax if we fly over here to make ourselves a stack at least of a bunch of different candles. But I don't think we're going to have enough to really actually start the shop. So I think we start gathering our materials together and see where this ends up. Because currently, yeah, it's not looking great. We do have a bunch down here, so that will definitely help a lot. But I just need to sit here and AFK a long time to try and get some more wax. But in the meantime, I think we can take this empty shulker box and start loading in a bunch of the honeycomb to make candles with. So Mini Wheats does have a bunch of string that we can use, and so I am going to go over to his place and see if I can find that string and start actually making the candles themselves. Well, we were back here waiting for more honeycomb to actually load in, but we have done a bit of work creating the candles from the honeycomb that we already had, and we went over to Mini Wheats to grab some of these dyes and also the string that we needed to build up the candles. So we now have a stack of each of the colors that I want to sell. We also spent a little bit of time over in the shopping district. I just went with Mini Wheats while he was restocking our rocket shop and kind of looked around and found a place that I would like to put the new shop for the candles. But with only this many candles, I don't really think it's time to start creating the shop and selling it because we only have one stack of each. Like, one stack of each is not enough to start a shop, especially with candles. They don't really cost that much. Yes, I'm a little bit slow on getting honeycomb and kind of have to wait for that aspect of it, but I'm just gonna have to AFK here for a while and try and get a bunch more honeycomb. However, I did realize I forgot something on my platform over here, and that was to actually put up a bunch of rails around the side. I thought this kind of looked more industrial, adding in the polished deep slate and then also the iron bars. It just kind of adds that more industrial look. Once we decide how we're going to build up the top part and put in the buildings and the like, we are going to put a pathway. But I'm not exactly sure how to do that because I think you need to have some way to actually get in to this area from out. So whether that's a ladder up to the top, so in Java you can put trapdoors down and then ladders on top of them, so you could have like ladder access, I don't know, or something else. We would have to see what we could actually do to add access from the outside rather than just having to fly in. So while Mini Wheats and I were in the shopping district, we actually recorded a small little clip together that we have been kind of planning to do for the last little bit. So check this clip out. So welcome to the shopping district, everybody. Mini Wheats the other week saw that this tavern was open and had rooms for rent. And so he went ahead and ordered a room, but then he realized that the rooms were only one bed. And I mean, we're married. So we wanted a room with 2 beds. And so he asked Bygl to make a room just for us. And I hear that it is completed.
So We have requested room 2, so.
Ooh, look at that. First customers, welcome gift. We got some golden carrots and golden apples.
Exciting.
Wow, that's super nice. We have ourselves our double bed. And we even have ourselves a bunch of storage with chests if we ever needed to lay anything here.
The first thing you always have to do is check out the bathroom when you go into a hotel room, right?
Oh, definitely. Make sure it's clean and all that kind of stuff.
But,
looks good to me.
Put the lid down. And...
Yeah, you know. Yeah, so...
Ender chest in the bathroom? Like, where else would you put it?
Well, exactly. Like, it's the best place for it.
Store your reading materials, yeah.
Oh, hey, that's exactly, you see? I have this right here.
Oh.
Perfect reading materials for our bathroom stays.
I do as well, actually, which I got us a gift for you.
Ooh, he got me a gift for our very first night stay here. You just...
Oh, I broke the painting. You just took the painting.
You did.
I've broken the hotel room. Nobody tell Bygl. That wasn't the painting. Oh, you took it again.
Yep. What did you do? Okay, look, I gotta back up so you can stop giving it to me.
That was the painting. Okay.
Oh, you got me another curious George.
So you might have to chat with enbentz on that one, but...
Yes, go see if he'll exchange it for another one. That'd be great. Yeah. So yeah, we just thought we'd show you our brand new hotel room?
Home away from home.
Home away from home. So yes, now we have ourselves a brand new home away from home in the shopping district at Bygl's Inn. One of the things I have been meaning to do for quite some time now is to go ancient debris mining. So I thought that would be a really great thing to do to end off today's episode. I did end up going mining for sand and got 2 shulker boxes worth of sand. And with mini wheats, gunpowder farm, we can go ancient debris mining with TNT. So let's head on over to Mini Wheat's place and get the gunpowder we're gonna need for our ancient debris mining. So we're here at the creeper farm and it is time to see how much gunpowder is here. Basically nothing. Well, that's gonna be a problem. Maybe I'll have to go to Mini Wheat's actual base. He probably cleaned it out recently. Okay, so down here, somewhere amidst all of his chests, he should have some gunpowder. At least that's my hope. Okay, so he does have quite a bit there. Let's make some TNT. So that is almost 4.5 stacks of TNT, way more than enough. I think we're just gonna put it on my person and we're gonna leave the rest of the sand here for Mini Wheats. It'll probably be helpful for him in the long run to make more TNT. So once we come back from ancient debris mining, I will go in AFK at the gunpowder farm and try and get some more, or at least talk with Mini Wheats and see if he doesn't have any other stashed away. But now that we have a whole bunch of TNT, it is time to head back to my base and get the rest of the materials I will need to go down and mine up some ancient debris. So let's get going. So unfortunately my audio decided it didn't want to work. I've been having a few little struggles here on my computer with the audio just glitching out after a while, and I did not catch it soon enough. So unfortunately these next couple of clips do not have audio, but we were able to get our gold gear on and head into the Nether. We struggled a little bit finding a place that we could actually go down and start mining for netherite. I don't really want to, take over other people's locations that they've already started mining for netherite, but we finally found a place that seemed pretty okay, and we started mining. The first couple blasts from the TNT actually produced some ancient debris, which was awesome, and so we just kept going. We only made it through about a stack and a little bit of TNT, so we will definitely have to go back ancient debris mining at a later date. Unfortunately, at one point, while we were mining to lay down the TNT, we were overtaken by lava and I freaked out and wasn't able to put the block down fast enough in order to not burn to death. Thankfully, I got the block down just before I actually burned to death. And so all my gear was safe, so we ran back to the house and grabbed as many materials that we could find in order to get going back to the Nether and collect all our stuff. And it was fine, but I realized I only have one ender chest, and that was on my person in the Nether. So we had to run to Mini Wheats to go grab his ender chest so we could get a pair of wings and get back to our stuff faster. But once we got back, we had all our stuff. It was safe, no worries. And we were able to collect it all and keep going with the netherite mining. Unfortunately, after we came back and collected all our materials, the next blast from the TNT happened to hit a piglin, a zombified piglin, and they were not happy. And so we kind of kept going just high enough that they couldn't reach us. But unfortunately, I eventually gave up because I was kind of tired of them being all around there. So we are now smelting up all the netherite scraps. Obviously, that's 24 netherite scraps, which is all the ancient debris that we were successfully able to gather from the Nether. So let us make ourselves netherite ingots. So now we have 6 netherite ingots. What shall we put it on first? Let's put it on my boots. Perfect. Let's put it on the pants. Let's also put it on the helmet, and we can be basically full netherite gear. But I do think that we should also put it on this fortune pickaxe like that. And I think we do it on our shovel. Let's put it on the sword, and we can have some amazing netherite gear. And now we are basically full netherite. We have now gotten ourselves a wonderful upgrade to our gear and a bunch of our tools. So I think that with the little bit of building that we did in this week's episode, the gear upgrade and the prep for our candle shop, we are going to call this one an episode. I'm hoping that next episode I will have the design for the top of our oil rig fleshed out and ready to go, and then we can build up ourselves a nether tree farm and the buildings to go around it. So I'm excited for next week's plans, and I'm happy with the progress that we were able to accomplish in today's episode. If you did enjoy this episode, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you are brand new here on my channel, I would absolutely love if you would subscribe. One more thing I wanted to mention, if you have made it all the way to the end of the video, I do have a Discord, and I would love if you came over and joined us on my Discord. The link is in the description, and I hope to see you there. So thank you so much for all the support everyone has given me over the last little bit. I truly appreciate it. So thanks again, and I will catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.